So let's start learning a bit more about ratios and fractions. So I just want to remind you that last time we saw that ratios were very close to fractions or division, and that is what we're going to explore a bit more and see a few more examples to make sure we understand something. So let's say we have A, which is a length. So A is maybe 20 centimeters long, and we have B, which is going to be 8 centimeters long. Okay, so that means I've drawn these units, which are each one of them is going to be 4 centimeters, right? So there are 5 of these for A and 2 of these for B, so that we can have 20 centimeters A and 8 centimeters B. So now let's just do two things, and we'll do them um, in tandem. So let's divide A by B. So I'm going to divide A by B. So if I divide A by B, I am going to get, so A over B is just equal to 20 over 8, and I know by equivalent fractions I can write it as I can divide both by 4, so I'm going to get the numerator and denominator will be divided by 4, so I'll get 5 over 2. And now I can do the same with maybe ratios. So I know if I use 1 centimeter as my basic unit, the ratio is 20:8. But I can use a block which is 4 centimeters as my basic ratio. So if I use that as my basic ratio, as my basic block, then the answer is going to be 5:2. So you can see that I am exactly, if I look at A over B, I get the fraction 5 over 2, and if I look at the ratios A is to B, so I get the ratio 5:2. So as you can see, it's very much the same thing, and you can play the same game over and over again with other things. So for example, I could even talk about so if I wanted to, I could talk about what the uh, total is. So let's look at what the total is. Let me take this and I can put this right next to it. So here it is. So now you can see if I look at the total, if I want to look at the total, let's say I want to look at the total. So here I look at the total. So now if I look at the total, so the total length is now going to be 28 centimeters, because if I add the two up, the length is going to be 28 centimeters. So that's equal to the total, right? So now I can look at maybe the ratio of B to total. So if I look at the ratio of B to total, that's just going to be equal to 8 ratio 28. And if I divide by 4, that's, or if I use, when I'm thinking of ratios, I'm thinking of the unit. So what it's saying is that if I think of 4 centimeters as a unit, then I'm going to have the ratio 2:7, where 2 represents these two yellow blocks, and 7 is going to represent all of these 7 blocks, right? So it's 2:7, and you can see the same thing over here. If I divide B by 7, so I'm going to do it right over here. So if I divide B by 7, so I can divide B by 7 right over here. If I take B and I divide it by T, so what do I get? B over T is just equal to 8 over 28, which is again equal to 2/7. So you can see that you can play the same game.